Well, from a mixed day weather-wise on the banks of the River Thames, it's actually turning into a rather lovely day. And we're now inside the grounds of Somerset House, on the terrace that actually overlooks all this beautiful greenery and the River Thames, and also boasts a new restaurant that everybody is talking about, Setlist, which was opened in May 2025 as part of the 25th anniversary celebrations to Somerset House. It's a gorgeous restaurant with art and music. We can just have a little look inside. But also, if you go inside, it's like restaurant service, but if you go on the terrace, either side of the restaurant, you can go to the bar and order some of the highly interesting and innovative food, which we'll talk about a little bit later, and also have a drink on the terrace. My first observation is just what a wonderful setting. And it's lunchtime, so there's not that many people around, but you can imagine that in the evening, the ambience here will be really special. As I said, this has only been open for a few weeks. And very much this restaurant concept is designed to mark 25 years of the tremendous meeting place that Somerset House has become. And there's a lot that's special about this restaurant. First of all, on the food side, this restaurant Setlist brings together 4 incredible female chefs, or so they say. Obviously the test will be in the eating and we'll let you know then. And the objective in the marketing blurb is to create a unique menu of dishes that truly represents the best of London. And if that weren't enough, there's going to be regular pop-ups, guest chefs, and also a series of barbecues throughout the summer. Now, looking at the menu, the first chef is called Chef Oppie, and is actually one of the core chefs of the Future Plate, which is the House of African and Caribbean Cuisine and Culture. And they're now residents here at Somerset House. Police going by, never mind. And Chef Oppie has brought, for example, amazing Caribbean tastes, which I love because I used to live in the Caribbean, like jerk chicken and also African spice goat croquettes. A whole variety of burgers like beef wahala, which is aged beef smash burger with special sauces, onions and cooked beef brisket. I've just swallowed a fly, forgive me for that. And you can also have Cajun French fries or grilled corn ribs, which really are a sensation everywhere in London these days. Also Sophie Wyburd, not sure that I've pronounced her name correctly, but she is basically not only a cook but also an author and known as the Queen of Comfort Food. Very well known for selling out supper clubs across the whole of London, and if you're interested, her latest book is called Tucking In. She's actually teamed up with Wild Farms, which are producers of the UK's first and only regeneratively farmed flour. So that's actually quite exciting. They've got all sorts of interesting things like smoked cheese beignets, slow roast tomatoes on toast, whipped ricotta with braised summer courgettes, and also a whole range of pizzas, which fits in obviously with the flour, so I'm sure they're spectacular. There's a choice of 3 pizzas. First of all, pistachio pizza, which comes with pistachio, basil, pesto, stracciatella, mozzarella, crushed pistachio and rosemary. That sounds really imaginative. Then there's a pizza with aubergine, smoked roast aubergine, parmigiano, mozzarella, fermented chili and tomato sauce with hot honey. Sounds spicy. And then saucisson with fennel sausage, olive oil, roast potato, caramelized onion, rosemary and taleggio. And then finally, Mexican taste from Andrea Montes Renaud and Laura Copp. They're working together with Masa Fina, and Masa Fina is basically aiming to bring the best possible Mexican flavors to the UK, again in the most sustainable way, and they use heirloom ingredients from small farms, and again their objective is to champion regenerative farming. Now they've got very exciting looking tortilla chips, for example, guacamole and corn tortilla chips, Masa Fina nachos, which look irresistible with fried heirloom corn tortillas, salsa verde, salsa roya, melted cheese, slow cooked black beans, yum yum, and sour cream. And today I'm very lucky, I'm not here on my own for once. I'm here with Mrs. S. So what we're going to do between us is we're going to choose 4 of the fairly priced little plates, enjoy them together, and I'll give you my judgment, as Mrs. S doesn't really want to appear on camera. So just going to have a little chat, we're going to have a negotiation about what we eat, and then we'll take it from there. The weather's super changeable today. I've got a funny feeling that after that beautiful outburst of sunlight, it's going to start raining. Anyhow, I'm now heading towards the main restaurant area. I've had the negotiation with Mrs. S and we know what we're going to order, I think. and try it. And yes, it has actually started to rain, so best foot forward. You can never really predict the vagaries of the British weather, irrespective of the season, and I was really confident. The sun came out and then it started pouring with rain, so we've retreated inside. The menu is scintillating, but quite a few of the elements that I wanted and choices that we wanted weren't actually available. So in the end, we've ordered one African spiced goat croquette, one guacamole and corn tortilla chips, one grilled corn ribs, one whipped ricotta with braised summer courgettes, one pistachio pizza, one Coca-Cola, and one damned lemon beer, which is a very exciting name. And all of that comes to £52.50, to which a service fee of £6.56 is added. That's 12.5%. So £59.06 in total. Let's see if the food and drink actually merits that price tag. I've got a funny feeling it will do, but we'll see as we go along. And I'm really looking forward to Mrs. S telling me what she thinks of the food as well. Wow, I really recommend this. It's really like a very high quality shandy. It tastes really good. Also, it's very nice that we brought drinks, but a really lovely touch at this restaurant is that a carafe of water with a set of 4 glasses is actually on each and every table before you even come into the restaurant. I think that's a super touch because you don't feel at all embarrassed asking for it, and it also shows, I think, a commitment to the idea of mixing and matching food. It's really good. Excellent, very good. Lovely.
Guacamole, and I'm going to come back for the pistachio pizza.
Yeah, thank you.
And then corn.
Very good, excellent. Thank you. Right, so let's take a knife and fork. I feel terrible here because I'm tasting everything before my wife, so you can see everything with beautiful presentation. But I promise you we're going to split everything 50-50. So let's just start, I think, with the goat croquettes. I used to love everything with goat when I lived in the Caribbean, so I don't think I've had goat since then, and that's around about 16 years. So you can see this looks very, very meaty indeed. This is the goat croquette, I remind you. I'm excited. Crispy breadcrumb coating, a lovely thin layer of potato, and then this distinctive meat flavour, and it's got a smoky flavour as well. That is a really lovely meat croquette. But I know what I'm going to try next, and that is a corn rib. I know that corn ribs have become a sensation in the London catering scene, and I'm going to be a very naughty boy. I'm definitely going to eat these with my hands. Just look at that, doesn't it great? Beautifully grilled, lovely herbs. Right, you really need to eat this actually off the cob, but these are great. Lovely, fresh, sweet corn with that little bit of coriander, and also ever so light a vegan butter equivalent, I think. And now let's go for the guacamole and corn nachos. Some pine nuts as well. The corn is so crunchy. Wow. These are the best nachos I've had in years. Really crunchy, deep corn taste. It's almost like being in a cornfield. And very flavoursome. The guacamole has a little spice, not too much, but a little kick. It's so smooth, so fresh, so good. And couldn't be further away from the guacamole dips you find in the supermarket or cinema. And I think that these cost less than any nachos or tortilla chips you'll ever find in any cinema, and they're 100 times better, I'll tell you that. Look at the presentation of this pizza, doesn't it look gorgeous? Looks amazing to me. So let's try that now. I just love that, and you can actually see on the plate now I've taken the pizza slice. You can see the pistachios all over here. Let's take a bite. Again, I don't want to exaggerate, but this pizza is sensational. The pizza base, crisp on the bottom, soft on top, absolutely delicious pizza base. Then you've got this super smooth creamy cheese, a little bit of pesto, but not very much, and pistachio nuts, and also I think dusted pistachio all over the pizza. The final thing to taste, whipped ricotta with braised courgettes. This was very much my wife's choice, so I feel doubly guilty, but I'm digging in first. It looks marvellous. I'll just take a little bit of the bread, not too much, because that would be very unfair. And take a fork, take one little bit of courgette. I don't know if that's onion on top, I think it is. And then those chickpeas, could be. Tiny bit of onion, and then some of this whipped ricotta. Looks good. I have to say, it's so nice to be sharing this with my wife rather than eating it all on my own. Beautiful toasted sourdough bread with some oil. Whipped ricotta with a little citrusy zest. And lovely, beautifully, perfectly cooked cold courgettes with a little bit of onion, and I think that's crispy chickpea. Really great. This is a lovely way to pick and choose and share. One thing I have noticed whilst I've been testing all of this is that the corn ribs have been almost totally mutilated and eaten by my lovely wife. I've just had an off-camera chat with Mrs. S, and in her opinion the corn ribs come first, followed in second place by the pizza. She agrees that the pizza dough is beyond compare, followed by the nachos with guacamole, the like of which she's never seen before and knows don't exist in cinemas, just like I said. And then actually the thing that she wanted most of all only came in fourth, which is the whipped cream cheese, I think it is, with the sourdough bread, which she did love, and also courgettes. And then also the goat croquettes came last, but not because she didn't like them. I don't think that my wife particularly goes for goat meat, but just because she enjoyed the other elements so much as well. And we both agree that the quality of the ingredients is really outstanding. Somebody just dropped something, but that the quality of the ingredients is really very, very high, explained from the fact that it comes from all these special farms as well, and you can really taste the difference. For me, tasting the difference thanks to the provenance of the ingredients is particularly in the pizza base, which is really out of this world, and also I think in the nachos as well, which have an incredible corny flavour in a very positive way. So I think all in all we're very impressed by the food that we've eaten. Would that be fair to say? Mrs. S is nodding vigorously yes. Look at what we actually ate. The food elements up until now have cost £40.50. And for me, before we come into London to go to the theatre or whatever, let's come here and have a snack, because quite frankly, if you just have the pizza and also the corn ribs, that comes in under £20. And that's a great way to start the evening out in London. That's not going to break the bank. You can have a glass of water if you want rather than a beer. And I think that considering the setting, the quality, you're on the Thames, Somerset House, my goodness, that is fantastic. Here I am in the courtyard of Somerset House to finish off the video. There's been a major photographic exhibition here in recent days, so at the moment they're actually pulling down everything that they put up to house that. But the whole of Somerset House has such a great vibe, and there's so many things you can do here. There are galleries, and there are plenty of other eating options as well. There's at least a couple of cafes and another restaurant. And I think that this has become such a popular venue over the last 25 years since it has been open to the public. At Christmas you can of course come here and enjoy the skating rink, which is always here. It's a firm part of Christmas in London, and as I say, just discover this beautiful place. Food was great, service was fantastic. The only slight complaint I would have is that several items were missing from the menu in terms of not being available. For example, we enjoyed the meal so much that we decided we would have an ice cream sundae, and neither of the ice cream sundaes, which are the main desserts on the menu, were actually available. Now I spoke to one of the waitresses who had been lovely throughout the entire meal, and she did point out that effectively the restaurant is a victim of its own success in terms of simply sold out and great success in its first couple of weeks. So perhaps we can be forgiving and simply recognise that we did have a very good experience. From central London, I'd like to thank you very much for watching this edition of Travel in Renaud, and look forward to welcoming you to another adventure in the very near future. Goodbye.